How's it going, Internet? Today's video I'm going to show you exactly why sometimes malware can't be removed from your website no matter how many times you delete it. I'm going to show you exactly how that happens, and I'm going to show you how you can stop it and how you can actually clean your website for real. So the example we're using today is an infected website. It only has 2 infected files, so it should be pretty easy to keep an eye on or keep track of. And we'll be using 2 tools. We'll be using Wordfence because it has the most popular malware scanner. Malware is also pretty popular. It's the same thing, and I'm going to show you exactly why that is. I might do another one with Malware later. And let's take a look at what the results are. So here we have an infected file. There's been a file dropped in the 2025 theme directory called the 404.php, and Wordfence detects that as a base64 decode file, which is very unusual for a normal file. So if we view it, it's this one really long line, and this is actually really standard, really common, popular backdoor shell, right? Every malware scanner is going to detect this. This right here is like in every malware scanner's detection kit. So that's fine. It picks that up. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and delete this file. Success, deleting file, right? It looks like it's gone. Let's go ahead and start a new scan. All right, it's going to take 4 minutes. This is kind of a big site. I think there's 20,000 files on here. And Wordfence isn't the fastest scanner. So let's take a look over here. This is the BitFire malware scanner. So it detected the 404 file, and we can take a look at what its analysis is. So it's got a long line. It's like extremely long, 115,000 characters long, which is extremely unusual. So the max line length is suspicious. The character frequency is suspicious, right? So it's not normal files, normal plugin PHP file to characters. The last modification time is also suspicious, and it's never seen the file contents before. If we look at the diff, we can see exactly what that looks like, and this is the same file, right? All this base64 encoded program code here, right? This is just a backdoor. Now, if we want some detailed analysis, we can go ahead and kick this off to the AI scanner, and this will do AI analysis on both of these files. It's pretty quick. And we have confirmed malware. This file does not belong on your site. This is a packed payload. It constructs create function dynamically and immediately executes an eval gzflate chain on a large embedded blob. This is not a normal WordPress template, and instead acts as a self-contained loader for concealed PHP code, right? Exactly what we thought it was. And we have this loader right here. This file downloads remote content, writes it to a PHP file in temp, forks, and executes that file, which is a classic loader RCE chain. There's no legitimate WordPress controls or validation, so it's just completely open, right? It's exactly what we thought this was going to be when we looked at this. So let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit so it's a little easier to look at. Now, what we're going to do here is we can either do the AI cleanup, which would delete both those files, but I'm going to do it one at a time so it's just a little bit more obvious. All right, we're going to delete that file, and we're going to delete this file, right, the loader file. We're going to delete that file, and it says, okay, everything's clean, right? Looks good. We deleted all the malware. So let's go ahead and rescan it. Now, the BitFire malware scanner is pretty fast because once it has seen a file, it stores a hash of that file, and as long as that hash matches, it doesn't need to run the entire scan on that file. So it's much faster. You can see we're almost done here with our 21,000 files, and yeah, Wordfence is still chugging along. This is going to be a couple more minutes. Okay, and what do we see? Both of those files return, right? So you think, how did that happen? Like, I just can't delete this stuff. Well, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening here. And BitFire has this cool tool called the Threat Hunter. We go over here to the Threat Hunter, right? We can see the WordPress startup chain. We can make sure that there's no malicious cron events sitting in the system. We can make sure there's no malicious MU plugins. Those are not a normal WordPress plugin file. It's kind of like a preloader, sort of. And then we have the administrative users, right? Is there a backdoor administrative user? This one's kind of interesting. It says it's suspicious only because it hasn't been logged in. This is a brand new account. But this is what I want to show you right here. Processes. PHP processes. And it detected one rogue PHP process. And what's happening here is there's a script in this temp directory right here that is running, and it's constantly running and monitoring both of those files, and as soon as they disappear, it rewrites them. So you can delete it as many times as you want to. This is what is actually re-injecting the site. There's a script running on the server all the time that is constantly reinfecting it. So it doesn't matter how you delete those files, they're going to reappear instantly. It doesn't matter if you patch all the vulnerabilities and install every firewall and put Cloudflare in front of your website. None of that matters as long as this is running. BitFire, the Threat Hunter, is the only software I'm aware of in the WordPress ecosystem that can detect what PHP processes are running on your server and then allow you to terminate them. So now if we go back here, oh, Wordfence is still chugging along, but we can see it did find that file, right? That file came back. So there's a new one. This is just the list of malware. This file right here is a list of malware that the BitFire plugin detected. So it's not an actual malware file. It's just the database of the malware that BitFire found. So now what we're going to do is we're going to terminate this process. Just kill that process. Let's try it again. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's gone, right? The rogue process is no longer running. And now, good, this finished, right? So now we can come over here and we can, let's use BitFire because it's just a little bit faster. We'll go over here to the malware scanner. All right, so both of those files came back after we deleted them. Let's go ahead and delete. And we'll delete this one, file deleted, file deleted. And now we're going to rescan, all right? And let's see if those files came back. Scanning, scanning, scanning. So far, so good. And what you're going to see is that is what actually allowed us to clean the website, is by stopping that background process from running. So if you've run into this problem where you clean up a website and it just keeps reinfecting no matter what you do, try the BitFire Threat Hunter, install that on your site, and go look through the Threat Hunter sections and see if there's any backdoor accounts or cron tasks, or there's also a scanner to look for database triggers. There's a bunch of different scanners looking for persistence mechanisms, but the most common one is that process that's constantly running and reinfecting your site no matter how many times you delete the files. And we can see now file integrity is 100%. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, hit me down below. See you guys next time.